All right. OxFit podcast welcomes Jonna. Welcome.
Thank you.
First podcast you've ever been on.
Ever.
Very exciting. All right. Well, a lot of people outside of, our 815 Moms class here at Grant Park probably don't really know who you are. So do you mind introducing yourself?
Yeah. So my name's Jonna Martin. I live in the neighborhood. Started coming to OxFit in February of this year. I'm a mom of two young daughters, so 5 and 2.5, and have a husband. So the four of us just gallivant around the neighborhood. Probably see us at the playgrounds, coffee shops, restaurants, all the things.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Awesome. What do you do for work?
I work in corporate finance. So desk job, 40 plus hours a week. Not very exciting. But I do love my job. So it definitely keeps me going mentally. But yeah.
Okay. So very busy.
Yes.
40 plus hours a week, husband, 2 kids, and that's not it. You have other responsibilities too. So you're the president of the Grant Park Parents Network.
I am.
Okay, so tell me more about what does that mean for your day-to-day, week-to-week?
So week to week and day to day, thankfully not that much.
Okay.
But we do meet monthly as a board. We put on, I think, fantastic neighborhood events. People may have seen us doing Music in the Meadow in Grant Park. The Egg Hunt. We'll have movie night. Winter Wonderland. So I'm plugging all the fun things. But it's a group of 10 to 12 volunteers a year who kind of get together and help organize these events. And then with the assistance of the rest of the neighborhood, we pull them off. So actually that is how I've always known about OxFit. But Lauren sponsors us, or OxFit sponsors us.
Yeah.
So I met with Lauren and she was like, just come try it.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, fine.
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to say? No.
I remember when she was really excited about the partnership when she told me. I remember however many months ago it was, beginning of this year.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And she was like, I'm excited. I have a meeting with, the president of the Grant Park Parents Network. I think this is going to be really cool. Like a great way for us to kind of get involved with more parents and kids in the community. And then it just kind of spun into also a cool relationship with you, between you and Lauren for, your own personal fitness goals. But before we talk too much about that, it has been really cool to see our partnership with the Parents Network and the community, kid workouts we've done. I think we've had 3 of them now.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you haven't come by and worked out with us, it is the definition of controlled chaos, but it's really cute and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think Lauren had a theme for it this last time, at least, superhero workouts.
Yes.
So my kids were very into being Spider-Man and Hulk and Wonder Woman. So, and they got to see where mommy works out, because I come here 3 to 5 times a week and I'm always saying I'm going to the gym.
Right.
And they're like, I want to come. So
yeah. And what I love about those is that we don't, we have some equipment that's for the kids, but for the most part, they get to use the same things that their parents get to use, which I think is so important, because I think now everything is miniature and everything's a primary color, and kids, you can tell kids aren't as interested in that as it would be the actual thing. So they get to push the sleds and do pull-ups and swing on the rings and do the med ball, toss, carry, roll, whatever they're capable of. So.
Yeah. Or sit on the sled.
Or just sit and observe.
Have mom push them.
Right, exactly. But yeah, it's a fun time. Yeah, it's awesome. So yeah, your journey started through the Parents Network, but since then you and Lauren have worked pretty closely together to kind of tackle your fitness goals, and your results have been incredible.
I'm shocked.
You're shocked?
I'm shocked.
Why are you shocked?
I mean,
you know how hard you've been working.
I know, but I usually work really hard, and then I'll have my burnout moment of, work really hard for 2 months, don't see results, and I feel like I saw the results on the 3rd month. And having Lauren do the accountability part for me and just keep pushing is what worked. So, for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing is motivation can only last so long. You have to have you have to have a plan. And when it comes to executing a plan and you can probably speak more to this, that doesn't necessarily have anything directly to do with your 9 to 5 or your kids at home or your husband. I feel like that can kind of get put to the side, you know, when it's something that you have to work at every day, every week. Like, keep putting yourself first and just keep chipping away at that. And I think Lauren is a great resource for so many women for helping them do that and navigate such a busy schedule.
Yeah, definitely the biggest thing, or one reason I loved working with Lauren is she's also a mom of kids very similar age. So understanding that, like, you do have to feed the kids at the end of the night, and she can relate to that aspect, and just like helping provide tips along the way, and just kind of being a cheerleader behind the scenes was really what I needed. But you said something of like putting yourself first in finance. They always say like pay yourself first, or just personal finance in general. And that's why I come to the morning class, because I'm like, if I start my day working out, then like I'm done, and everything else from here is like life and responsibilities.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, how long have you been working with Lauren? Or how long has it been since you kind of started?
So I think I did 2 weeks of like regular, just come to class, and then Lauren's like, let's do this.
Yeah.
So probably started early March.
Okay.
And I had all the reasons not to do it. I had travel plans. We were going to Portugal for 2 weeks. And I was like, oh, I'll start in the summer. She's like, just do it now.
Yeah.
So we took like a 2 to 3 week break while I was gone. But yeah, came back and wrapped up around Mother's Day. So the formal program.
Yeah.
But obviously been coming to the gym since, and did the baseline and retest week and all
Heck
that.
yeah.
So
Absolutely crushed it. Your scorecard is like filled with PRs. I think it was 12 out of 13.
12 out of 13, and I matched the one that I didn't beat.
That's amazing. Yeah, and it's just, I mean, the perfect time to start really is anytime. It's now. Like, no matter what you have coming up, because you're going to be so much better off for having gone through this experience and navigating a vacation and navigating like a weekend trip or the busyness of summer and transition out of school or whatever it may be. And like, summer's here. It's done.
It is.
And like, you've seen results.
Yeah.
And I mean, we can all like attest to how fast, like I think back to the beginning of March. It feels like yesterday.
Yeah.
So like,
it's done.
It's done. So what specific results have you seen other than amazing performance results in terms of, you know, your baseline and retest week here in the gym?
So before I ever started coming to OxFit, I've actually been really intimidated by weightlifting. I have no idea what I'm doing, which is another reason why I love coming here. It's like, I mean, I still ask you questions at the beginning of every workout, like, what is this? So having that as support has been huge, but I ran a lot, and then I have a stationary bike at home, and I bike, but that's all cardio and not any strength training. I might do a yoga class here and there, but nothing consistent. And I enjoy running. And the biggest thing I think I've noticed is I just went out and ran 5 miles the other week, and it wasn't hard because I had muscle to keep me going, as opposed to just like running empty miles whenever I'd be training for a race or things like that. So I'm actually super excited to try the half marathon this fall alongside training and kind of see if I can do it.
You'll be able to do it.
I mean, I'll be able to do it, but like the ease at which it'll happen, I think is going to be different for the first time.
Absolutely. I think that's something I want, like, everyone who is a member of OxFit or thinking about being a member, like, what I want them to take away is that, you know, by doing functional fitness and strength training and having such a varied approach to your fitness and, you know, constantly challenging yourself, then you can say yes to these things without being intimidated or without, you know, like you said, you ran 5 miles, but we haven't been, part of your training plan has not been, all right, Jonna, it's Wednesday, we got to go for our long run today.
Right.
That, I know, Lauren, that has not been, that has not been part of your training plan. Your training plan has just been, let's find an approach to nutrition that works for you and come have fun with the 8:15 moms class and just trust the process.
Yeah. I think at most, I'm like always calculating like miles. So whenever we do like the 200-meter runs or 400-meter runs, I'm like mentally doing the math. I think the most I've run is like a little over a mile in any given workout.
Yeah.
Which blows my mind.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just crazy what that, combination of weightlifting and all these different types of movements we do, how that can translate to so many other things and just keep your body healthy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if we had you guys go out and run every single day, I would have so many memberships canceled or on pause, like my ankles, my knees, my hips, and be like, yeah, I get it. Like, that's insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love it when people, are able to surprise themselves and go out and do things and, run a 5K with their kids or play on the playground with their kids and not be out of breath, things like that.
Yeah, definitely can relate to the playground comment. That was, Lauren had me list down goals, and I injured myself running a half marathon last year. So I was like, I don't know if I could do that. But she's like, put something in writing. And I was like, just do the monkey bars. And I was able to do the monkey bars at the playground. Monkey bars are a lot harder as an adult than what one might think. But I mean, it's because I've been coming here, and it sounds silly, but my kid was impressed.
Yeah,
So.
I don't think it's silly. I mean, I drive by that playground every day, and it's full of parents, and this is not a judgment at all, but we're just sitting and watching their kids and like not necessarily engaged with play, probably because most people, if they tried to just jump up on the monkey bars, they dislocate their shoulder because we just don't do that as adults. So still, that's what this is really, is just an adult playground is what the gym is.
It is.
And it allows you to, incorporate that with your kids. And I don't have kids, but I feel like there wouldn't be a better feeling than your kid thinking you're like the coolest.
Oh yeah. My kid wakes.
My mom can do monkey bars.
Yes. Like I said, they're impressed, so I'm happy.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah, cool. So that was one of the first things Lauren said to me whenever you started. She's like, her goal is to do the monkey bars with her kids. And I was like, got it. We're always hanging from the bar. She's going to be able to do that in like a week. No problem.
Which I did. And like much sooner. I was like, shoot, I need bigger goals.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. No, that's great. And then I think Lauren also said, in terms of like body comp, you're down like 3 pant sizes or something.
So I bought new pants about like probably 6 weeks in. And then I had to go buy pants again. And I'm just like, this is cool, but when should I stop buying new pants or like pause and like buy my final pants? So I think I might be getting there.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. I think that was the most frustrating for me after 2 months was like the scale didn't move. And I'm just like, what is going on? I'm eating healthy. I'm working out. Like nothing is changing on the scale. And I mean, I had 2 kids within 2.5 years, went through the pandemic like everyone else, worked from home, so very sedentary, and I gained weight. But I mean, the scale has now come down after some time, but I think just the fact that like my clothes fit better, I did have to get new clothes, and like pushing through that frustration of like the scale's not moving, which I've always, I guess, kind of had like a number in my head I wanted to get to, and I'm not there, but I feel great. And I think that's like the bigger thing that matters at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And like the fact that my clothes just sit better on me in smaller sizes, like has me so motivated to like go buy new stuff again, as opposed to the reverse of my pants don't fit, so I need to go buy new pants.
Yeah.
So that's been great. Yeah, I lost, I think, 6 inches on my waist.
That's amazing.
In like that 90, 100-day period.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I tell my clients this, I tell everyone is like, and that's why we kind of lean more on the progress pictures than the actual weight on the scale, which, totally valid that a lot of people do have a number they want to hit. But when we are, training intentionally, strength training, trying to build muscle, and, correct our nutrition, that body recomp is going to be so much more rewarding to look at than just waiting on a number to change on the scale.
Right.
Because even though you say, this number hasn't changed a whole lot, 6 inches and 3 pant sizes, something's changed a whole lot. So regardless of what the scale says, like, we probably have a lot more muscle. We have leaned out. You're able to do box jumps for however many reps it was a couple days ago. I was watching you do it, and I was like, dang, she is not quitting.
I couldn't even do a box jump on day one. I looked at it, I was like, there's no way I can jump that high.
Yeah.
And I eventually just go for it.
Yeah. Now you're crushing it. But yeah, I think that's really important for people to keep in mind, and not get so caught up in what you think makes a nutrition or fitness program successful. And I think maybe that's why people fail so often, is because they start something and every day their metric is, I'm going to get on the scale and see what happened. Mm-hmm. That can be really discouraging.
It is.
Yeah. So what surprised you about the approach to like the nutrition aspect than what you maybe thought it would be?
So I like to think I eat fairly healthy in general, but it's the consistency of it. It's like the amount of times, like logging all of my meals and like, oh, let me just do an Uber Eats order, or let me go out for lunch on Saturday. And then next thing you know, we're Uber Eatsing at night on Saturday night because we didn't like meal plan. And then Sunday, it's like, oh, it's nice out. Let's go out again. Like the meals out add up so quickly. And like, even though I might be making healthier choices, it's still not like prepped from scratch. So that was one thing. And then I just didn't realize how often I was doing it out of convenience. So to like flip the script on that, Lauren emphasized the importance of meal planning. And I wouldn't say I ate the most exciting meals every single day, but it wouldn't have happened without that. So I think the results, like I think I could have trained the exact same amount of time in the gym, and if I kept doing what I was doing with eating, it wouldn't have been the same results. So, and then just like kept prioritizing. Thank you.
You got it. Yeah, if you guys don't know, it's 7:30 in the morning right now. So
I've had 1 cup of coffee. But helping like prioritize the amount of sleep I was getting, and like with 2 young kids, like my 2.5-year-old will still wake up in the middle of the night every now and then, but like it breaks your sleep cycle, and then it's hard to get back on track with it sometimes.
Yeah.
So I definitely, like, being a mom is hard. And like having a script or like a manual to follow was super helpful, because then it's like, if I do these things like consistently, the change will come.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. Yeah, just having that, coach in your corner, just being that little extra push to be like, let's reflect on this week and see, let's look at what we actually did.
Right.
Or what can we do this weekend to make next week better? And just having that little bit of support. I've done the nutrition program with Lauren back when I first started OxFit. I've done it with Caitlin, and that is what, like you said, really helped me too.
Yeah.
Is just recognizing some of the little habits that we have that are turning into something a lot bigger that we may not realize.
Yes.
Yeah. And on the flip side, how we can fix that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know one thing I like about Lauren's approach with her clients is there's really not a whole lot of specific tracking. I think she just asks you guys to pay attention to your protein just to start, or just pay attention to meal prepping in general and eating out less. And I think that's such a just an easier way to start, rather than being like, you got to hit these 3 numbers every single day and this is what you have to do and don't deviate from that. Or
I didn't track a single calorie, which was like the first time that I've done a nutrition plan or diet, whatever you want to call it, where I wasn't paying attention to like how much I was eating. She's just like, just eat, but eat clean. And then every week she added like a little bit something extra to add. She's like, I don't think you're getting enough protein based on what you're eating. You should have a protein shake. And then we'd add that. And she's like, you should track the amount of protein. So instead of tracking calories, I was trying to hit a certain protein goal. And that's way more motivating because it's like the goal is to eat, not don't eat. So that was almost, I mean, it was really hard. The protein levels that you should be hitting are like, they're high. So I was constantly at the fridge eating, which also meant I wasn't hungry. So, and had energy to come to the gym and wasn't exhausted and dropping weights. So.
It's so much better, I think, to focus on what good you need to do more of than the bad you need to do less of. And that protein goal for a lot of people is really hard at first because we don't realize how little protein we eat. Hence why, you know, I can down a box of Cheez-Its, no problem, if I haven't had enough protein for the day. Or, you know, whatever it is at 9 o'clock at night, you're like, I'm starving. It's like, oh, well, I've only had 50 grams of protein this entire day when that's what I should be getting in, like, one meal. And, I think that's the biggest game changer for people out the gate for sure.
Yes, 100%.
Awesome. Well, if you had a piece of advice for anyone who was kind of like you, knows about OxFit, knows that it's a gym, but is kind of a little on the fence of whether they should get started, whether they should incorporate it into an already busy schedule, what do you think?
I think you should just do it. Like I said, I was intimidated by weightlifting. I was intimidated by this like really strong culture and wondering if I like fit in. This is the most welcoming group of people I've ever honestly met in my life. And everyone is here to help you with every single like movement or things like that. And then, you know, there's always it's not a great time, but I said the exact same thing and Laura was like, just do it. So I said I was going to start in the summer and I had to buy new bathing suits for the summer because like my bathing suits also didn't fit. So I'm just really excited to have like be in the summer and be stronger. I think just going for it and having that nutritional assistance by the side, 90 days or 100 days goes by so quickly that it's worth the investment in your own time to do it.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, we're proud of you. You're
Thanks.
Crushing it. We are going to end now because class starts in 10 minutes and we got to work out.
We do.
Let's go. Thanks, Jonna.
Thank you.